All right, so Jesse on fire. Let's examine this scandal another way that happened with, scandal. Let's examine the most recent conflict that happened with Ariel and kind of think to ourselves about how this actually happened, right? Ariel reports a fight is coming, and then subsequently it's not coming, and then people light him up. And I got to ask myself how that happened, you know what I mean? Because Ariel does a lot of things, does a lot of things to aggravate people, but generally speaking, when he says this is coming, he's not usually wrong. And so I started thinking about that, like, how did that happen? And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then I'm also going to show you guys, I'm sure that lots of you guys have seen it, but the Jamal Hill video about Ariel spoke specifically to something I talked about yesterday in my video. So I want to show that and then come back to what I said. And I don't know about adjust what I said. I mean, we pretty much are like agreeing with each other. So I want to show you what he said and then come back to that. And that's what we're going to do. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, it is incredibly helpful to me and my channel. Helps the algorithm know that people like my stuff, etc. I work really hard. All I ask is that you I'll ask that you subscribe to the channel if you're going to watch my stuff. I would do it for you guys. Quarter for the candy. Don't just steal the candy. It doesn't even cost a quarter. You just have to click subscribe. Thank you guys very much. All right, so let's rock. So I think actually, before we even get into that, why don't we just start with the, why don't we just start with the Jamal Hill stuff? Jesse, why are you searching images of Jamal Hill? Well, duh, for the thumbnail, you goof. All right, let's watch this really quick.
Other news, Jamal Hill has reacted to Ariel Helwani's and Chael Sonnen's argument. As many know, Ariel recently got into a heated argument with Chael over Francis Ngannou's pay. The conversation got out of control as the two started to insult each other in a way we've never seen before. Now, in a recent YouTube video, former champ Jamal Hill reacted to the clip and slammed Helwani for talking tough to fighters through a screen, but never in real life. You can watch the full video on Jamal's YouTube channel, link below.
Like some of the best fighters in the world. Chael is one of the best fighters in the history of this game. And you calling him a coward, talking about this and that and those things, say it to your face and all this and those things. But whenever you had a problem with me, you was crying to my manager, he's threatening me, he's doing this, he's doing that. Now that was a real move. Now let's be clear. You were only being tough like this, talking all of these things because you had a screen in between y'all. If Chael's in your face in person, you're not talking like that. Like, let's be real. We got a video right here, which I wasn't going to address. I was going to leave it out. I seen this a while back, but it's like, this is what you like in real action. Like whenever it really go down and get hyped, this is how he act.
So make sure you're going to go that.
Okay, hang on. Oh my God. I've never seen this before. Okay, so everybody is always talking about how when they went at it, that Ariel dipped behind the cage. This is the first time I've actually seen this. Watch Ariel's reaction when Logan throws the water bottle, okay? This is actually, he throws the water bottle and watch Ariel's reaction. He's like, oh, Jesus. My goodness gracious. Watch this. Hold on, I just saw this.
So make sure you're going to go that.
Oh! Oh my God, that's even funnier than when he dips behind the thing. That's so funny. Uh-oh. Oh man, that's hilarious, dude. That is hilarious. Anyway, so just to comment on what Jamal said. Well, actually, we are 100% agreeing with each other. Actually, 100% agreeing. Basically, what he's saying is like, you would never say that if there wasn't a screen between you, which is obviously a fact. Okay, if you're gonna say like you're a coward, right? Like you're too big of a coward. Did he call Chael a bitch? Because good God, this dude right here is a lot of things. I don't think anybody with a straight face has ever used that word to describe him. Certainly not to his face. I can't let you get close. So, Yeah, I don't like. Again, I just want to go back to that if he really called Chael a bitch, that's insane. But even saying you're too big of a coward to admit you're wrong, yeah, dude. It's just my guess is the screen. The only thing that, you know, Ariel could come back with that, you know, on that particular thing is like, Chael's my friend. He's not going to beat me up. You know what I mean? Like, Chael's not going to beat me up. And the only thing I'm going to kind of like, I don't even, and this isn't even disagreeing with Jamal Hill. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, beat up Ariel? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that Jamal was saying like that he would beat up Ariel or anything. I'm just saying like anytime that like just, it's like this, we're actually agreeing with each other because it's like anytime that physical violence comes into the conversation with Ariel, we're just saying the same thing in different ways where I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, there's no reason to beat up Ariel. Like, of course you win that fight. You know what I mean? Ariel would, like, in my opinion, Ariel would have to he would have to do something so egregious for someone to actually beat him up because you already know what the outcome of the fight is. But, you know, if he calls you a bitch to your face or whatever, takes his backpack off, right? We talked about this yesterday, you know, in Ariel's story about confronting Ali Abdelaziz because Ali Abdelaziz was like, keep my fighter's name out of your mouth. Ariel's like, why? What you gonna do, dog? What you gonna do? What you gonna do, Ali Abdelaziz? Huh? What you gonna do? I wonder if he would say that line about not being able to get on a flight to Ali's face if he was within striking distance. Probably not, you know. He's all, you can't even get on you know, international flights. You're all, if I was standing right there, I'd be like, oh man. Remember the thing I said about not beating up Ariel? I'm gonna just go ahead and take a step back on that one because, you know, seems like the kind of thing that you can beat anyone up for if they say that to your face, you know? But, yeah, his own words, he took his jacket or took his backpack off and wouldn't take a step back, wouldn't back down, was just yelling in Ali's face, and Ali didn't do nothing. It's like, dude. Again, I said it on the live stream yesterday. I will just reiterate. Is there a single person on earth who is questioning who wins that fight? Because if that is the case, don't. Ali will win 1,000 times out of 1,000. They could fight 1,000 times, and 1,000 times, if there is no ref involved, Ali strangles Ariel until he's either dead or he decides to let go. Every time, 100% of the time, that is how that goes. There is no other outcome. But nonetheless, you know, dip, then it is what it is. I think more along the lines of, you slap a person, you know? Like if somebody is just begging for it, you slap them, you know? If they're not a worthy adversary. I've said this a million times. Anyway, all right. So moving right along to the to this thing about, you know, speaking of Ali Abdelaziz and Ariel, and this thing that happened where Ariel announced that there was a fight on the agenda, which was Islam Makhachev against Charles Oliveira at UFC 297. Puts that on his Twitter, and subsequently, it's like, yeah, that's not true. Yeah, that's not true. Ali comes out and goes, this is nonsense. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Never believe a guy who doesn't even have a UFC press pass. And then Ariel was like, never believe a guy who can't get on international flights. You're all what? And I talked about this on the live stream. Whenever I do a 2-hour live stream, I always like feel like I need to reiterate things in case people didn't see them because they're very long, and who the hell is going to watch a 2-hour live stream? But so what I was saying during the live stream is Ali says, why would you believe someone who can't even get a UFC press pass about Ariel reporting something that ended up not being accurate? So the insult that Ali threw at Ariel was a direct, you know, reflection of credibility. Now, I will say in Ariel's defense, he tends to be right. And he obviously has tremendous access, you know. But, you know, Ali doesn't like Ariel, and so he pointed something out. And, like, in a court of law, that is a completely relevant argument, you know? Dude, this guy can't even get a press pass. Why would anyone believe him about anything having to do with UFC? And it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And then Ariel's all, why would anyone believe a guy who can't even get on an international flight? You're all, what? You're like, I'm saying he can't even get on an international flight. And you're like, right, I thought we were talking about UFC news. Like, what is that? He's like, I heard that Ali Abdelaziz prefers Windex to other spray types of cleaning products that wipe down his computer screen. You're all, what? He's like, I heard that Ali used to use a green screen when he used to film things for his Instagram. You're all like, I'm having trouble connecting this to his credibility about, MMA news. I heard that Ali's Louis Vuitton backpack, the first one he got is blue. Who chooses a blue Louis Vuitton backpack? You're like, are you just like randomly picking things out of what the fuck does his international flight status have to do with him knowing what's going on in the UFC? How are those things related? You know? Pretty sure Ariel took that down. But nonetheless, so we have that just happened. And we also just have this thing that just happened with Chael. And full disclosure, the last thing that I said to Chael about this whole thing was exactly what I said on the video, which was just Chael reiterating that he feels like Ariel ambushed him as a guest and that he owes him an apology, which I totally 100% agree with. And by the way, just to add on to that, I didn't realize Ariel had implied that Chael was anti-Semitic, you know? Like, that's a totally new ball game, obviously. That is not a cool thing to say about your friend, you know? Well, I think we know why he's calling me a weasel, because he's a racist. You're like, Chael is a racist. Oh, yeah. He is a huge racist. And look at this library of videos that I could show you of him saying terrible things about Brazilians. And you're like, I mean, he said that Nogueira fed a carrot to a bus. Does that sound like a serious comment? You know? Does that sound like he's saying something serious? I don't think so, you know? I feel like he was hyping fights. I don't think he's actually racist, and I would base that on his library of work where he's obviously not racist. You know? Well, look at the text message that he sent me about Jewish people. Anti-Semite. What? You can't just throw that word around. Just because, I mean, Jesus. But my point is that there are some people who are angry with Ariel, you know? Like, there are some people who are not happy with Ariel. Jamal Hill, Ali Abdelaziz. I don't know what the status between Chael and Ariel is, but certainly for a minute there, they were not happy with each other. Maybe they still aren't, and maybe they are. I don't know. All I'm saying is, how did Ariel get that bad information, do you think? Dana also loves to see Ariel fall on his face. So, where did he get that information, you guys think? Where did Ariel get the information that Islam Makhachev was going to be fighting against Charles Oliveira in January? Where did he get that? You know? Almost seems like someone set him up. Maybe. Maybe someone set him up to fail. I'm just saying, because the worst thing you could do as a journalist is report something that ends up being not accurate. You know? Having to print a retraction, which I'm not sure if he did, actually. I feel like... yeah, I don't think he did. But nonetheless, I don't care about that because it's like, I don't see, it's MMA news. He hears something, he puts it out there, it ends up not being true. It's like, oh, never mind, my bad. You know, like no harm, no foul generally. But yeah, where do you think he got that info? I have two theories. Uno is this is kind of what the UFC does sometimes. If they want to put a fight together, they can't get a hold of the fighter and they want to start building hype for a fight. They leak it to the press. And then the press puts it out. Everyone goes, yes, let's go. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And it's them trying to drive an outcome. And maybe the organization had not spoken to Ali and they didn't realize that there was some kind of something going on where Islam couldn't fight until March. Possible. Best case scenario for, you know, this being an oopsie, you know, is they just didn't know Islam couldn't fight till March. Maybe. But then there's the more nefarious option, which is someone with an agenda or a vendetta, you know, very, very smart and figured out how to get Ariel some bad info. And then Ariel put it out. And then when he got embarrassed, they were like, oof, that's a rough one. Just right on the chin, huh? Right on the chin. Bad information as a journalist? Jesus. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed if it were me and I put out information like that ended up not being true. Maybe you'll think more about who you insult, because the more people you insult, the more likely it is that you'll come with bad info soon after. Ariel. Anyway, just a theory. I have no idea. Like I said, I have not spoken to anybody about this other than, well, I mean, I don't know anything. Let's just say that. I don't know anything. I know nothing. But it's a fun theory. And I'm going to LA right now, and I'm going to be at a job thing tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday. So I need to put some content out. And so I'm going to put some content out about things I'm thinking about. And people seem to love videos where we kind of, pick at Ariel. I will give the people what they want without being a total fucking prick about it. I just say what I think. And what I think is that beating up Ariel makes no sense. But Ariel deserves a lot of the shit that he's getting for being a little fuckhead weasel. Oh, Jesse, you anti-Semite? Oh, yeah. Hey, why don't you ask around if it's possible for me to be an anti-Semite? Oh, it's not. Weird. Weird. But yeah, being a slimy little weasel that tried to pretend that Jamal Hill was supportive of domestic violence. That's not weasel shit? Come on. Brought Chael on to humiliate him and then called him an anti-Semite afterwards because he called you a weasel? That's not weasel shit? Come on, dude. Come on. Said Ali Abdelaziz is not trustworthy because he can't get on international flights. First of all, how do you even know if that's true, number one? And number two, you know what? That's not true. Ali Abdelaziz went to fucking Chechnya with Justin Gaethje and Kamaru and all them. How do you explain that one, smart guy? More bad information, probably. Huh, Ariel? Jeez, this is just piling up all this fake news. Love you guys. Bye.